Hey guys, what's going on? We're in my bedroom and I'm going to do another collections video. Now, I like showing collections, I like talking about collections because collections can show people a little bit more about who you are. Not just what you like, but kind of the person that you are, or the generation you grew up in, or the kind of household you lived in. You can learn a lot from a collection. I'm really not kidding about this. And today we're going to go through my DVDs. 4 bags of them. So you're probably wondering, why am I actually doing this video? Because I have to reorganize everything. I originally had these DVDs organized from movies and TV, but now I have to mix them all together because I've run out of room. So yeah. Alright, one that's got to get into the mix. Akabat Super Show. Why do I like this? Because this has the feel of old shows like Power Rangers and Batman 66. Corny writing, corny special effects, but a lot of really good humor, and there's some great guest stars that show up in this series. So if you ever get a chance to get your hands on Season 1 or Season 2, do so. It's really worth it. Alright, if you liked Airplane, check out Brain Donors. Brain Donors is a movie, it's done by the same guys, and it's a homage to the Marx Brothers. Really, really good, really, really funny. When I first heard about this movie and saw it, I at first was like, I don't know. But it's great. The only problem you might have is the humor is really fast-paced. So once you start laughing, another joke comes out, you have no time to actually laugh at that joke. So, you know, I've showed this to other people. Some people like it, some people just, it's not their cup of tea, but definitely well worth watching. But let's start off with B in terms of Beetlejuice, the animated series. This was a great show when it came out. It was actually produced by Tim Burton. He actually made sure that this was accurate, but still, you know, good for the kiddies. But wonderful cast. There's some good names in here. If I remember right, I think Tara Strong does a voice of, I think it's one of Lydia's friends. But yeah, I loved watching this as a kid. I remember Nickelodeon used to show this. Oh my gosh. You know, Saturday morning and then like Nickelodeon. Yeah, this was my cup of tea. This was, I would run to see this show. The next one is the California Raisins. Originally it started out as a raisin commercial campaign, and it became something really cool. People loved it, so Will Venton decided, hey, you know what, maybe we can take this to the next level. So we actually turned it into a series of specials and also a Saturday morning cartoon. The specials were cool because it was covers of R&B music. It also did a lot of satire. It was really, really great the way it was done. The Saturday morning cartoon, not too shabby, but it was your typical fare for the 1980s. So I think we're actually getting into Nickelodeon territory right now because I have to go back into the A's. And we're gonna start off with Pete and Pete. I love this show. I was hooked on, it was the episode where they go to the Hoover Dam. And I think my favorite part is when they're going down the road and they're having the roof stacking competition. It's just the weirdest thing, and that's what's cool about the show. It was so weird. Real monsters and angry beavers. This was the show that impressed me more because they created this great world, and it was great, it was attractive, it was weird. I loved it. Oh, and if you can't tell, right here, that is the signature of Mr. Charlie Adler, who did Ickis. So this is a little extra special for me. DVDs everywhere. Everywhere! The Chipmunk's Adventure. I remember watching as a kid and I liked it. Watching it as an adult, it's really awkward. I don't know if it's the fact that you have these diamond smugglers who get these kids to do this stuff, or the fact that There are a lot of parts in this movie where the chipmunks and the chipettes are half freaking naked. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Just saying. Critic. I think I like this one because I knew it was by some of those creators. This was not typical of Simpsons writers. I like this. A lot of satire, a lot of fun. I really recommend episode 1 when they do the Beauty and the Beast parody and it's Beauty and King Dork. I love it.
A story told through time, happening in New York. He's a lemon, she's a lime, Beauty and King Dork.
Now we're getting to one of many of my Disney afternoon DVDs. Darkwing Duck. Love this show. Jim Cummings is great as his character, even with it being goofy. I mean, I watch Ninja Turtles, guys, okay? That's goofy enough. This was different. This had its own feel, its own universe. It had originality, it had satire, it had a little parody. I liked this show. It was good. Everybody, this was a show that I'm even surprised ran as long as it did on USA. USA was trying to compete with shows like The Simpsons, and they brought us Duckman. DuckTales. So here is one that you probably didn't even know existed. Garbage Pail Kids, the TV series. This show did not air, and there's two rumors. One is that parents got mad when they heard this was coming out. And so they wrote nasty letters saying that they wanted this show to not air, and that's what happened, supposedly. The other rumor is that the show did not do well in whatever the group sessions are called. They brought kids in, and apparently the kids didn't like it. Like I said, those are two rumors. I don't know which one's true, but yeah. Okay, so where are we? We're at G's? We're at the G's. Okay. G's. Ha! You see what I did there? No, fine. Here's a classic, guys. I love this film. The Great Dictator. This is a great movie. This was Charlie Chaplin's first talkie, and it was controversial because it was poking fun at satire at World War II, the Nazis mostly. He was really making fun of the Nazis and stuff like that. I can't really well describe this movie other than you have to see this and you have to hear the speech at the end of the movie that he does. It's actually something that we even need to hear now.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that.
There's a mower gun. There's one you may not know about. You remember Earthworm Jim, the video game? Earthworm Jim, the animated series. That's right, they had an animated series. It's not as good as, let's say, Freakazoid. Even it's Ernest. This was a kid's show that had Jim Varney as Ernest P. Worrell, and it was not bad. It was a weird show, because every day you'd go in, it'd be a different topic. The whole episode would be about a certain topic. My favorite episode from it was, I think it was about fear, and it was one where Ernest was trying to get the boogeyman, and it was a weird episode, and a lot of the stuff that's in it is weird, and they repeat a lot of stuff. Every episode has different versions of the same joke half the time. King of the Hill. Mad Monster Party. This movie is okay. The reason why it's in my collection is that it's by the same people who did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and this was their attempt to make a feature film. The problem is they kind of stretch things out a little too long. Some scenes that should only last like 3 minutes last 5, maybe 7, and they don't need to be. Rock and roll. This is an interesting animated movie. This has Debbie Harry, Iggy Pop. We got Cheap Trick doing songs. Lou Reed's in here. It's really great. It's a weird sci-fi story. It's a little dark. I think they consider this a family film. It's like, no, it's dark. Like, have you seen Wizard? Think of Wizard. I wish they'd put this out on DVD, but we got the movie at least. This is a great film. Good soundtrack. Good plot line. Really good cast of characters. James Woods is in this one too, so yeah.
Someone to care for, to be there for. I have James Woods.
Oh, wow. I think I just overpacked this thing. Oh, maybe? Yeah, I overpacked. Fuck. Here's another obscure one. Coming from the guy who watches Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Road Rovers. This series was interesting because it actually did make fun of the anthropomorphic superhero show, and it was great. I just kind of wish that they wouldn't put so many dog jokes in it. I was really surprised I found this one. I haven't seen this movie in years. I actually haven't really watched it since I bought it. Spaced Invaders. This is a wacky, weird movie about aliens who accidentally land on Earth who think that they're getting in the middle of a war. It's one of those movies. It was meant to be cheesy, but the humor, the characters, the satire all plays really well in this. It's just great. And I know I say that, oh, this is great, but there's reasons why I say that these are great, because they're all unique. You know what? I just realized something. I think I'm missing DVDs. We're almost at the end. And I think I'm missing DVDs. How is this possible? How? There are almost 100 DVDs here, and am I missing one? I could have swore I had Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. Transformers, scarring you for life. Twice Upon Time. This is a great, wonderful animated film, and I'm really surprised it's got a PG rating for one reason.
I know some of you have girlfriends and old ladies and all that kind of crap, and you're probably expected to get into their feathers tonight. Well, let me just say, tough shit!
Alright, they're all organized, they're all done, and I gotta show you one more. This is The 10th Kingdom. Now, this was a Hallmark, I think it was a mini-series. This thing is long. It's very long. It takes a long time to get through this thing. Just because it's Hallmark does not mean that it's necessarily family friendly. Let's just say there is a really great weed joke. Well, thank you guys so very much for checking out the video. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have an idea what's out there. Check some of this stuff out, it's great. Also understand that this might be stuff that I might be talking about later on down the road. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, subscribe down below. And also check me out on Twitter. I'm always posting all the time. Also, if you happen to want to check out Stardust and put some reviews up about stuff that you like, go ahead and download that app and look up Hoolicious TV, and you can check out the stuff I've been checking out. Until then, have fun, take care, and 143. God. I'm dying. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Oh shit. I'll just let it run. I gotta go.